again. Episode 215. Live Basketball Podcast, April 23rd. I almost said 24th. Whoops. April 23rd, 2024. Episode 215. I already said that. Nice try. Couple things to discuss. I think we wouldn't have done this episode if there wasn't a few things that were notable news-wise, since we did do, an episode on Sunday, which was 2 days ago. So
yeah, I think that when we got ready to get off that, we said if Antigua gets announced as an assistant, we'll come right back on. We did not do that.
Nobody needed that.
But here we are. Orlando Antigua has been named the associate head coach of the Illinois Fighting Illini.
I'd be curious to go back and hear what we said when they left, because I remember myself being not mad at Antigua, maybe more taking it out on Chin Coleman, because I felt like he was much lesser than Antigua. But I think we should have probably understood more, and I feel like we maybe did more than others, but maybe not. Maybe I'm remembering this wrong. That if you have the opportunity to go to Kentucky at the time, I mean, it makes some sense, even though Illinois was coming off of a 1 seed year and a really good team. But if Calipari comes calling for Kentucky in 2021, I think it makes more sense then. But I don't know what it says about what's going on now that he comes back and doesn't stay at Kentucky, doesn't go to Arkansas with Calipari. He comes back here. I have to assume that the amount of years he spent with Brad towards 2017 to 2021 at Illinois. And I think Brad probably had this guy circled as, hey, Chester's going to be, if I think it feels like
there's word.
Maybe I'm wrong here.
There's word.
It feels like there was something out there where the way that Brad wanted to approach things, the way that Chester wanted to approach things was different, which is why I've said the entire time, not knowing any of this, just assuming, I don't think Brad was that broken up about Chester being gone.
I think it's interesting that Chester left for an associate head coach job. Illinois hasn't had one. Illinois hires Antigua as associate head coach. There's rumblings that Chester was maybe forced out. I don't know if that's true, but Antigua talked today to the media a little bit, and he said that he still has a good relationship with Coach Cal. He said,
Chester, before we get into that, Chester got a pretty good job if he was forced out.
Oh, got a great job.
Yeah. So I don't know if that wording, I don't know. I know people have used it. I don't know. I wonder about.
Do you think it was a give me this role here, or I'm going to take the West Virginia job? You think that was a conversation?
I don't really see that, but maybe that doesn't. No. Because what would make Illinois, other than bringing in a new coach, what would make Brad be like, oh, we got to have an assistant or associate head coach in title? Like Anderson, Alexander, and Chester kind of seem to be on the same footing the last few years.
Right.
And we all know who the best recruiter of those three is. And we all know who the best is at bringing in foreign players who suck. We all know that. And we all know who's the best at bringing in 3-stars who can't shoot. Speaking of that, Chase Butler to Washington. Congrats.
Wow. Also, RJ Melendez back in the portal. So you guys can keep saying that Brad is a problem and, he can't keep guys around and nobody wants to play for him. You can't trust him. But this is the landscape of college basketball right now, guys. So I know everybody wants to talk about turnover from the Elite Eight. My dad even said something to me about it. I mean, how many of those guys were seniors? Who'd we really lose?
Was it unexpected?
Yeah, I Sincere was a red shirt, so no playing time.
No,
Hansberry
average. That was unexpected. Hansberry and Sincere were both unexpected, though.
Yeah,
but it's because Chester left.
Right.
And Goody, we'll talk about it, but I feel like there was something there where once he went through senior day and graduated, there was always the thought or the possibility of him leaving.
Yeah, and
I didn't really think it was going to happen. I wasn't sure, but here we are.
Yeah. Antigua talked about how him and Coach Cal are still, good friends. He talked to him last night. even. And, he said basically when you have the opportunity to go learn from one of the best, you take that opportunity, which is what he did. So, to open it up, he said, quote, really excited to be back, checking out this beautiful facility, talking about Ubben. Is that how you say it?
Sure.
He said, talking to Joey and Fletch about this building and what they imagined for it, and then seeing it live and in effect was really impressive to him. He was asked why he came back, and he said, quote, chance to work with Brad again, a chance to work with Tim Anderson, Jeff Alexander, and Joey Biggs and Zach and Tyler. The things we were able to do here the first time around was special, and we got that going. My family and I continued to support while we weren't here. I just think we have a really good friendship between everybody here on the staff, so it made sense.
There's no denying how important Antigua was his first time here. We give a lot of credit to Brad, and obviously he deserves a lot of it for getting this thing turned around. But Antigua and Chin Coleman were both big parts of it in terms of recruiting and bringing in different players, and obviously what Antigua did with some of the development stuff. I find it interesting that I think he probably knows he's not a head guy at this point. He was at South Florida. They were bad. I think 23-55. He went Kentucky, then the South Florida head job, then Illinois, then Kentucky, now Illinois again. So obviously a guy that's been coaching for a long time. He's been, I think this is 2002, so it's like 22nd year coaching. He was an assistant at Mount Lebanon High School for a year, then went to Pitt, then Memphis, then Kentucky, and then South Florida, like I said, head coach, and then obviously Illinois, Kentucky, Illinois. So he could go to Kentucky again 3 years from now. We'll see.
Maybe. They asked what his role would be. He said, quote, my job is to try to come in and be supportive of the guys that have put in the work here. They have developed the players and have a deep relationship with the kids, all three of them. And I just want to come in and be supportive of that. So just going to sit back and watch, apparently, Antigua. He said also, quote, we got to go get players. We are constantly working on that and got to scour the universe. There's a lot to sell here. I think Illinois is a global brand, and we won't want to limit that brand, where that brand goes. He said that Brad being a JUCO coach in the past helps him with the new NIL portal area, the landscape, because when you're coaching JUCO, you got to replenish every year. So he thinks Brad can really work this system, which he's shown that he can. And Brad said that, part of Antigua coming back is because they both think that Illinois can win a national title. So that's what he's back for, to win a natty. How long do you think it takes to win a national title?
I'm not answering that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And then I guess the big question is, can he bring anybody with him? Anybody from Kentucky? We talked about Boogie Fland a little bit in the last episode. He is visiting Arkansas starting Wednesday night. So expect Boogie to be a Razorback in the next 6 days, I would say.
The last player to visit Arkansas who was committed to Kentucky and decommitted just took Arkansas off of their list. So I'm just saying.
Okay.
Quaintance or whatever the center.
People don't want to be in Arkansas. Is that what you're saying? It's not
I'm pretty sure he visited. He either scheduled to visit or visited, but he took him off his list. So
okay. Gotcha.
You can relax. I also, the Boogie Fland thing,
you don't even want him, do you?
No, I'll take him, obviously. But I just think that be a little worried about the youth of a backcourt with him and Boswell. I know Boswell will be year 3, but he's still very young, and they're both a little smaller. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. True. Also today, I believe he's 7 foot tall. He's listed as a forward. Ugana Onyenso is entering the portal. He announced for the draft. Now he is entering the portal. I assume along with, getting ready for the draft. But he was recruited by Antigua. His first contacts so far are Alabama, Oklahoma, Georgetown, Louisville, Florida. So I'm surprised Illinois wasn't on that list. So I don't know if he brings anybody in or not. I assume that some guys might follow him, but depends on how much they wanted to play for Kentucky, how much they wanted to play for Coach Cal, or how much they want to get developed by Antigua, right?
Hopefully David Jones from Memphis enters the portal. I think that's
everybody seems to. I mean, it sounds like a Ray J. Dennis thing where everybody's already saying that Illinois is going to get him. So,
but he hasn't entered the portal, so who knows if he will.
I don't think Ray J. had entered the portal when
I know,
Illinois
but
fans were going crazy.
There's also the draft process as well.
Mackenzie, what's going on? Do you think Onyenso and Merez can play together? I think you can play Merez at the 4.
I don't think we're going to be seeing Onyenso in a Illini uniform.
Yeah, no shot.
By the way, David Jones, not only was he recruited by Antigua and Tim Anderson, he's also from the Dominican Republic. So
he does have that pull.
And this would be his 4th school in 5 years. Because DePaul, St. John's, Memphis.
Speaking of 4 schools in 5 years, ZZ Clark, the infamous ZZ Clark, has now changed schools again. He hasn't even stepped foot on campus. It's on his 3rd school. So taking after his brother.
This is a smart one, though. I think UCSB will be good. UCSB develops guards well, so I think that'll be good for him. But Illinois didn't need that. He's a 3-star, number 32 point guard in the class of 24. Illinois didn't need that, but good luck to him. UCSB is a good spot for him. Plus, they're from California, so go ahead. We don't need them.
Yeah, get out of here. Bergie, what's up? Bootzilla, what's up? Jeffrey, welcome back. Ronnie, how you doing? Crypto Hayden says, can we only pick up seniors after May 1st?
No,
that answer.
Just the people in the portal.
Okay.
But then the grad transfers don't have to be in the portal by May 1st. They can go after.
Yeah.
So,
it's ridiculous.
I wonder if David Jones probably would he be a grad transfer? He's played 4 years. Credits transfer?
Depends if he graduated, right?
I know. That's did he do enough to graduate at Memphis, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm guessing that, you take TV at Memphis. Blue Chips reference? Anything? Nothing?
Don't care.
You've never seen Blue Chips?
I would rather make the reference of Derrick Rose getting the test taken for him to go to Memphis.
That's terrible. Anyways. All right. Ethan said this is going to be 10 minutes. We're already over. Let's keep going. Luke Goody is entering the portal. Some people are shocked. Some people aren't. Some people say good riddance. Some people say whatever. Luke Goody said in his statement on the Twitters, he said Jeremiah 29:11. Shout out Armchair Illini. 3 years, 2 championships, and 1 degree. The University of Illinois has provided endless opportunities for myself and my family, and I am forever grateful. The Illinois fan base is unlike any other, and I appreciated every person that has been a part of my journey. Being able to graduate from the Geese College of Business is one of my proudest moments, and I'm honored to be an Illinois graduate. Geese. That's why I said first, right?
Yeah.
With that being said, I will be entering my name into the portal as a graduate transfer. Thank you, Illini Nation. I am fighting Illini for life.
Hey, kind of a classy move to enter now when he doesn't have to. Totally classy.
Yeah.
Well, if he's going to leave, I would rather him wait around for 2 more months or just do it now.
That's true. It sounds like he's already got plans to visit Indiana this week. I guess his brother goes there. His family's Indiana fans, so
I'm holding that hope that doesn't happen.
It makes sense. Do you think he plays more at Indiana than he would have played at Illinois?
Counter, is it about that?
That's true. Is it about just being close to home and family and getting your master's from Indiana?
I don't think anywhere that he's going to go, he would play much more than he would at Illinois. Like, I think he's probably going to end up in Indiana, for being honest. I can't think of another school that may jump in, but
right.
He'll probably play a similar role. I mean, Indiana obviously couldn't shoot last year, so bringing in a 40% ginger from deep who's from the state,
Yeah.
It'd be good for him. I mean, hey, Luke Goody,
Luke Goody gave Illinois his all, I think. I mean,
yeah, I think he could have probably gone more of a pods route, and because remember, Luke Goody was not. He's like a 4-star coming out, right? 3 or 4-star.
Yeah,
so,
4, I think.
I think there's limitations to his game. I think obviously Pod's, a better overall player, but yeah, I mean Goody. I don't know why people were so critical of him this year. I mean, at one point, I know you said he was a bad shooter.
I did. It's funny that you say that because I was talking to my dad today before I got home to do this, and I said, there's got to talk about Goody and whatever. And he said, I saw people are happy that he's leaving. And he goes, his shooting was kind of down this year. And I'm like, yeah, he shot 40% from 3. I said, Ethan gave me shit about it all year. So I mean, I think that it must have just stood out to people that he didn't shoot well, but he actually did. I don't understand.
I think it's because in his first 2 years with injury, he shot 62 threes total. And this year he shot 157. So we saw a lot more misses because he did shoot. He shot 40. True. He was 8 for 19 last year.
He averaged 4 threes a game, which shocked me because I saw somebody getting into it with an Indiana fan.
That's double last year.
Yeah, somebody was saying they don't need Luke Goody. He can't shoot. And the guy's like, he took 4 threes a game and shot 40%. What did Indiana have last year?
He started 7 games.
Yeah.
He started the 6 games that were Shannonless, and then he started the one that Shannon came back but didn't start. So I think Luke Goody was a much more important player than we probably all give him credit for, because there were some frustrating moments where he had times where he wasn't able to shoot or he was getting killed on defense.
I think defense is kind of the only, like he was balls to the wall all the time. He was a team player. My thing is, like, who's going to be the leader next year? Brad talks about leadership.
Ty
gives it fart noises. It has to be Ty at this point, right?
Ty, and if they bring in like a senior or two from the portal.
Yeah. Travis says they claim Goody has already committed to Indiana. Yeah. Embrot's Indiana acts like Goody is theirs and he's getting their NBA there. Don't be shocked if Luke Goody is a Hoosier by next week.
It would suck, but
yeah,
it's college basketball.
Any updates on Damask? The Bonneville died and he bought a new car. That's the only update I have on Damask. I don't know when we'll get an answer on Damask. I don't know if anybody knows that answer. I don't know how the court system works.
Now, my question with this would be, what is the deal with the Portsmouth thing? He played in that. If he got a waiver to play, would he still get the suspension that those guys get for playing?
That's true. I don't know.
Somebody's got to find that out.
Are they still suspending people?
It's not that big of a deal. It'll only be 3 games. But
yeah. Joe says, when a player goes into the portal, do they leave the school they are at, or how does that work for the transfers? Yeah, I mean, if the school doesn't want them and they don't agree to come back, I mean, there's talks every year about how there's so many guys that go into the portal and they just end up nowhere. So, I mean, you're kind of at your own risk once you enter the portal. Nobody has to pick you up, and the school doesn't have to take you back. So, Jeffrey says odds on Ty leaving.
That would be troubling.
There was, I think it was WICS Channel 20. One of their sports guys said that there's probably somebody else entering the portal. DGL said he's already coming back. Ty Rogers and Moretti are the only other 2 left. So,
yeah. Who knows? Probably Moretti.
I hope Moretti. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I mean, could be everybody. Yeah, Moretti leaves before Ty. Good question. Yeah, we can always get RJ back for sure. For sure. Can you all explain the transfer portal? I thought it closed May 1st. Transfer portal's broken.
Closes May 1st
for undergrads.
Yeah.
Graduates, grad transfers can still transfer after.
Yeah.
So I'd be shocked if he gets another year with already getting one from COVID. Yeah, and the year that he wants back is from COVID. So unless the NCAA just says we don't want to go to court over it, go ahead. I don't think he comes back. Yeah, Cam Spencer had the same thing. Yeah, we've talked about that.
But did Cam Spencer hire lawyers? I don't think he did.
Exactly.
That's what's
just
different.
Just hope Ty is working on his jumper. Imagine Ty first game knocks down a 3. You guys are gonna be
Also,
shocked. Oh,
I
didn't
don't
see
think
that.
it's as
Sorry, Jay.
I don't think it's as easy as just saying that Goody could develop any Cam Spencer traits. You know, there's a lot there. Not only that, it's like the way that Dan Hurley talks about their offense is like light years ahead of everybody else.
So, and that's, I mean, people want to say, like, yeah, if he could do that. Like, have you guys seen Fletcher Lawyer, who played with Luke Goody? When he goes to the basket, it's not good. Just know your role and shoot your threes.
Goody's a lot bigger than Lawyer.
I'm just saying, I think that their game is pretty similar.
Yeah.
Portal is way broken, especially for schools that don't have the NIL.
Minnesota. Yeah.
That hurts.
I mean, Elijah Hawkins literally said he's coming back, and like 2 weeks later, see ya.
Yeah. And there's been multiple of those. Ohio State kid.
Gotta get. Well, that's not NIL.
Yeah.
Minnesota's NIL problems.
When you think about Ohio State players going to Michigan, that's kind of gross.
It's different in basketball, I think, but yeah. I mean, Michigan has gotten like 100 guys. I don't know how it's all going to fit together.
Dusty May's gotten everybody. Well, he's got to get a lot in case some of them can't get in, right?
I think a lot of these. I think they learned the. I don't think anybody's going to commit there without knowing that they're in,
right?
Like Caleb Love did.
Yeah,
because Shannon didn't do that and Davis didn't do that.
That's true. Yeah. The only other thing I got is Coleman Hawkins announced today. He is 100% committed to the NBA draft. We will not see Coleman Hawkins back in a Illini uniform. Shout out Skylar Tierney. He'll be very excited about that. But
yeah, all you effing people out there who complain about Hawkins constantly, like, how do you feel about yourselves? How do you sleep at night? Like, it's a guy who played all 4 years here.
Yeah, the only one Brad's had.
Yeah. I mean,
only.
He
Does that scare you?
He played 6 minutes. Well, it's a new. I mean, there's like no time. He only had 3 years at Stephen F. Austin and only 1 year at Oklahoma State. That's true. Then COVID and portal broken at Illinois.
Well, and I mean, you got guys that
also Trent and DeMonte. Trent and DeMonte didn't commit to him, but they played 4 years.
Yeah,
5. So nice try, everybody. But no, right. Hawkins understood the importance of development, I think, in an era where a lot of players don't. Like, he played 6 minutes per game in 2020-21, his freshman year, averaged 1.4 points, then played 19. Like, he only started 14 games the next year when they got the 4 seed and lost to Houston in the second round. And then the last 2 years he's come on. This year he was +7 in 3-point percentage. He was 1% better from the field. He averaged 12.1 as opposed to 9.9. Yeah, he had some flaws, in terms of what people said about him and some of the stuff with the refs. We all know that. We all understand that. But guess what? You can get away with some more of that stuff when you played as well as he did for most of the season. And I think Illinois fans got way too bent out of shape over some of that stuff. Like, can we defend one of our guys for once? Like, I understand it was frustrating to watch, especially in games they lost, but like,
it was frustrating when he did it to the extent that it took away from him going back and playing defense or things like that.
I really don't think that had a huge effect in the grand scheme overall. Like, what did he give up? Maybe they lost 7 points in situations like that for the entire season. Like, that's not.
It's still not what you want to see from your players.
But I just don't think it's not.
Yeah, they're lucky that it probably didn't cost them a game. But
how would that cost? Okay, yeah, I guess maybe.
Absolutely could cost you a game.
Yeah, I don't know. But why is that? Like, that's the one thing people bring up, though. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah, people are annoyed by it. I don't know. That's just
people
the way it is.
Fucking losers. Then, like,
that's why people don't like LeBron. That's why people say LeBron's not the GOAT, because he whines. I'm sure Jordan whines. There's just not videos of it.
Here's the problem with that. Anybody who uses that as a reason why LeBron's not the GOAT is, I mean, that's a different level of having zero respect for somebody's basketball opinion. I don't respect any of those bozos who think that. And bozos who the first thing they think of with Coleman Hawkins is, they cried about the refs. Great. What else did he do? averaged 12 a game. He had a triple-double in a game. He had 6 rebounds per game this year, 3 assists the last 2 years. Played a lot, played through injury this year. Shots 80% almost from the free throw line, which I think is great. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we should take a lot of the good more than the bad. And I'm somebody who was a complainer about him in the first couple years.
We complained about him plenty.
But I think we defended him a lot more than others in the last 2 years.
Yeah, the last 2 years for sure. Marsman says Coleman will sadly be the last 4-year player. Ty Rodgers, guys. Ty Rodgers.
Is this year 3 for him, though? He's still got another one.
He's still got another one.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
If he makes 3, he's not going anywhere. DeMonte played 5 years.
Goody. Goody made 3.
You think Ty's going to have his degree from
maybe
Illinois by then?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Marsman says he was a great player and will find a way on a roster at the next level.
He'll get a chance. I don't think there's any doubt. He'll get a chance.
He's too long and tall, and that's what they want. Guys that can shoot that are that big. Always like Coleman played out of position at times because he had to. Yeah, and that's the thing is we can, bash Coleman or whatever, but I don't think he ever really, except for maybe last year, he really never played probably where he wanted to or as he wanted to. He had to be a facilitator his junior year, which is good and bad. So,
yeah, he averaged 2.5 turnovers per game last season, and this season 1.6.
Yeah,
and only 0.3 fewer assists per game. Yeah. So those numbers didn't go down. His points went up. His shooting splits went up.
I think that just as a fan, though, like things that happen bad, you remember more, right? So I think that's just why Coleman has held that persona for people.
Do people do that with players? I don't do that with players. I do that with teams.
I don't know. Luke Goody can't shoot.
Okay, but that's the first thing that I think about with players, especially the good ones, is what they do well. I think about with teams. I think about
you're a positive guy.
2021. I just think that's the wrong way to look at a player. I don't know. It depends on the type of player though, because I think Ty Rodgers. I think the first thing I think of is probably that he can't shoot. But other than that, if you could shoot, I'm not gonna be whatever. I sound like an idiot.
He's gonna be playing the post next year, so.
Yeah, but hey, let's not forget Coleman Hawkins. Probably his last best moments as an Illini were that Duquesne game, knocking triples down. I mean, he was good against Iowa State, but Duquesne, woo, boom.
Yep.
Only had 11 points in that game, but he had 3 threes instantly.
Hanging in the rafters.
Yeah, he's good player. Little much with the online stuff, but I'm more concerned about that than him complaining about the refs.
That's true. But I think that's his personality. I think both of those correlate, honestly.
And he's a Bears fan, so that's a bit of a swing and a miss.
That's true. So I don't know. How long we got to take off? 3 weeks?
Yeah, who cares?
Me and Ethan played golf yesterday. He birdied his last hole before he's got to be out for a few weeks. So asterisk birdie, I would say.
Yeah, but I mean, I executed properly.
It's true. That's true. You hit a terrible hybrid and then made a putt.
Bad. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, you what'd you do?
rolled down the bridge.
Yeah, exactly. And your tee shot, please.
It was perfect position.
Yeah, perfect. I'm trying to see if I can find a mock draft that has Coleman Hawkins near it.
Nobody.
Why?
I don't know. You think that changes with the combine though? Once they see his size and his,
I think there will be something. Yeah, that changes.
Why do you think that's a good? Why do you think he's not?
I don't know because
he's everything the NBA wants.
He played better this season.
Yeah, he can shoot from 3. He's a great passer.
I don't get it. I mean, nothing makes sense. I mean, I'm looking at this one here, and I can't even find Shannon. I'm at pick 21.
Sean, you're better messaging me. I don't know if you think that I'm Ethan because you mix us up all the time, but Ethan will not respond to you. I guarantee that.
I just went through.
I actually talked to the guys that listen to us. Ethan does not.
That's amazing. I went through a mock draft here and I don't see Shannon, and I'm at pick 50. I don't get it. I'm confused. Yeah, this mock draft doesn't even have Terrence Shannon. Crazy. Anyway, probably some loser.
Yeah, it's probably one of that dumb one that I looked up that didn't have him. And they didn't even explain anything. They just said he had court issues or something.
All right, let's see what CBS Sports has to say.
Ethan is a younger golfer, and you are the mature father of Ethan. I'm also a better golfer than Ethan. Let's not mix this up.
Yeah.
Ethan didn't even learn how to play golf until he started playing with me, and then he figured out how to do it.
Shannon 28th on this one on CBS.
Shannon's not going to jail. Sean.
Yeah. I mean, people want Peyton Sanford, but they don't want Coleman Hawkins. All right, cool. This one here has Zach Edey to the Phoenix Suns. I don't want to deal with that.
Oh man. Would you buy an Edey jersey if he was the Suns?
No. I don't even have a Durant jersey. I have a Booker jersey. That's it. That's from years ago. I'm a real Suns fan.
G League. You see that Kofi's making like $500,000 over in Japan?
Great. He'd be making more here in Champaign.
I don't think if he would have stayed that year, he would have made more than $500,000.
I think he would have.
Talk about putting Orlando back in Champaign.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I know that Illinois is not approaching it the way Kentucky did with Calipari with the NBA draft thing, but it is good to see Illinois putting more guys in the league. You know, I think Kerry Booth could be another one of those guys. By the way, I almost put Corey Booth in the title of the YouTube video. So awesome. I gotta get used to you.
We're definitely calling him Corey all year.
No,
so how much of an upgrade is Orlando Antigua over Chester Frazier?
Yeah, I don't think it's a knock. Yeah, I don't think it's a knock on Frazier, but yeah, I definitely think it's. Yeah, he's just been doing it much longer, and
he's got great connections.
Has a really good track record recruiting. Obviously, it's easier to recruit at Kentucky than it is, for Chester at Virginia Tech and Kansas State. But yeah, I think it's an upgrade for Illinois, and good for Chester that he gets a really good job as well.
People are saying that Illinois now has the best 1-2 punch in the recruiting aspect. Do you agree with that? And how come they don't say 1, 2, 3 with Jeff Alexander?
Great question. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I don't know. I think we probably need to see some results with them together, right?
Yeah.
Like if they can get AJ Debansa, the number one player in next year's class, if they can get him, be pretty good. Be cooking with some gas if they get him.
Jeffrey says he sees 25% more threes going up this year, maybe 30%.
Probably, yeah, probably.
You think? We have less shooters.
Sucks for you. You don't know that yet.
Jeffrey, we have Antigua now. You don't think we're going to go get a big that's actually good and doesn't have to play in the A10? Where did he go?
I would like to see a bit more proven scoring on this roster. Like I think that's what the next portal edition.
That's what we're missing, right? Is a
there is nobody on this team that
has
averaged more than 10 points per game in college.
Trey White 12 last year, I'm pretty sure.
Does he count as a player on this team?
Did he get kicked off already?
No, I was joking, but I meant on a real team. Also, what did Jake Davis average? That's not a real team, though. It's Mercer.
We got 4 spots to fill. There is 72 months left until.
Do you know who the primary recruiter was on Jeremiah Fears?
Jeff Alexander.
Yeah, you can talk shit now?
Actually. I will not, no.
So, Jeff Alexander, I mean, let's look at it right here. He's got Jeremiah Fears. He's got Zachary Perrin, and he's got Nico Moretti. Those are the three. The big three. That's pretty troubling.
That's the only three
Those are the only three that he's been the primary on.
really.
My thought is that
He's
Anderson
drinking wine in France.
Tim Anderson did all the legwork on Fears, I guarantee it. So it does say primary Jeff Alexander, secondary Tim Anderson.
Tim Anderson.
So
Yeah.
Chester didn't do shit because he's like, oh, a guy who can shoot. I don't want him. But yeah. Also, I did defend Sincere. A lot of people said he couldn't shoot. So, and Hansberry, here's a discussion. Amani Hansberry is not as tall as he's listed, right?
What's he listed at? 6'8"?
6'9", I think. There's no way. He's like 6'7".
I think Sincere's hair makes him a couple inches taller.
It's an angle thing too, but
yeah,
it's a fun joke that I've been seeing on Twitter. Everyone just calling him a 6'6" center. Yeah.
But my thing is he was really good at shooting threes too, though. So.
Okay, Jeffrey, what are you even talking about, dude? Do you know the lack of athleticism that Oakland had on the perimeter? Did you watch Oakland play? They had two white guys just throwing threes up the whole time that couldn't do anything else. You think Illinois is going to look like that?
I don't see Illinois chucking three. Like Brad is a.
Jeffrey loves to just like be really negative about Brad, and it's funny because he's completely wrong. But if it were up to him, Dane Danger would be an All-American. Where's Dane Danger now? He's going to go play and miss the tournament in Memphis. Great, congrats, it's awesome.
Yeah, we talked about that on the last one, Jay.
I mean, staying in conference and going to Washington is a little different than staying in conference and going to like Michigan for Jace Butler. But yeah,
he's from the West Coast, so it makes sense.
He should have gone to Santa Clara if he wants to develop.
It's true.
Santa Clara's developed two better NBA guys in the last 3 years than most schools in the country.
Does Illinois play Washington next year?
You know, you got to play everybody almost, right?
I don't know. Schedule's weird. I mean,
they got 20 games and 17 opponents.
Mulcahy went to Washington, and he couldn't even start there. So.
Well, they have an actual coach there now too, with Sprinkle.
Gillis to Duke like the fit. Shire's got to fill that roster somehow because everybody's leaving there.
The Grandison role.
I think that Gillis will play well at Duke, honestly.
I mean, Ryan Young went there from Northwestern and played a little bit, so
he played a lot.
They like bringing in bums from the Big Ten. They lost Roach to Baylor, and they have some freshmen coming in.
Yeah, the only thing I know Gillis is really good at shooting threes. If he has an off year, he could be in trouble. But he plays hard. He's a big body Luke Goody, if you ask me.
Thoughts on Illinois having no chance at Kobe Brea?
I mean, he picked all blue bloods. What do you expect?
What was his? Was it 5?
The best. That's the best top 5 ever.
Kansas, UConn,
Duke, North Carolina,
and
Kentucky, maybe.
No, Kentucky's not a blue blood anymore.
I didn't know you lost that status, but
no, they didn't.
Boswell isn't going to play booty ball if we're playing a 5-out offense. How are they going to get their points? Driving and cutting.
Can we worry about this when they have a full roster?
Upgrading from Dane Danger.
Yeah, we need to worry about this when they have a full roster. Then we can think about.
Yeah, we got 4 spots to fill. Plenty of time.
I don't think that there's a correlation between like needing a booty ball guy in a 5-out. Like it helps, but I don't think you need a distributor, and you don't have to. Boswell doesn't have to back people down to distribute. And I think their offense is going to look different no matter what.
Well, and that's
with an actual point guard.
It's like the 5-out offense. You watch the NBA. I know it's college guys, but they're not playing booty ball. They're taking off the dribble. They're cutting. They're hitting guys in the dunking position where Ty Rodgers excelled at. They'll be fine.
Got to give it time. The season starts in 7 months. They got a bunch of spots to.
Guys, remember that like when Chester was here, we scored 30 points one game. So.
Yeah, guys.
When he played for Illinois, not when he was coaching.
Michigan State got Frankie Fiddler. Great name.
Oh, what about the kid from Hembrica or whatever?
from
6'9".
Evansville. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
6'9" shooter.
What top
Apparently
players might come back
Louisville's
to college and
involved.
not go to the NBA, which Illinois could get? Yeah, I don't know. David Jones in the draft process, if he ends up going to the portal. Wisconsin loses storage. I think Wisconsin's still got some guys there. I think they're fine losing.
Humrick House. Thank you, Philip.
They got yeah. I don't know.
Ugana, the bin guy, and David Jones is going to be sweet. Who's
I don't have
the
any
bin
interest in all that. That's the Evansville guy.
guy? Bin Humrick House. I'm just going to go off from last season. There really wasn't much cutting in the 5-out.
Well, there's this thing that happened where they lost everybody from last year's team, and it's an entirely new team. And if you've been paying attention, not just trying to hate on Brad his entire time here, you would realize that Brad's probably it feels likely that he's going to adapt a little bit here to what his roster is and maybe change up some of the things they do offensively. Since I know everybody
still
that
has
doesn't
4 spots to fill.
everybody that criticizes Brad doesn't want to think about the adaptability that he's shown over the last 4 years from season to season with different personnel. But I don't think we can go off of last season at all. Ty Rodgers and Nico Moretti the only guys from last year's team. You think either of those guys were a huge part of last year's offense, which was ranked number 1 in the country at one point?
DGL.
No. DGL, sorry, I apologize.
Jeez.
It was so great last year.
His mom's going to come after us. Good job.
Please do. Yeah. I won't even say what I was about to say. Yeah, DGL had some good moments in the tournament. That was good. It's really easy to forget him, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Probably because we know that he's going to be back, and I've been thinking about Moretti and Rodgers and which one may end up elsewhere. I think Moretti makes the most sense out of that. I think Rodgers has a pretty clear role on this team. So
Tyler Underwood out here quoting Sketch, special player, special teammate, special career.
Yeah, I really don't understand that entire thing at all. I think it's quite stupid, to be honest. I don't get it at all. I think it's dumb.
What, Sketch?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very. I'm glad that it's him and not some. There's a bunch of idiots that are becoming famous. This guy just seems like a normal.
Yeah, it's amazing. Sounds like it's
guy.
really, really, yeah. I'm hearing it too much. I don't know.
Guy, he was a real estate agent. I mean, and now he's famous for
real estate agents. You know what they are?
Making funny comments. Scammers.
Yeah, they're frauds.
Wow.
It's just like salesmen, frauds.
I mean, if you think about it, most people are salesmen in their jobs.
Some of it matters more than other parts of it. Like
we're trying to
Brad
sell
Underwood
this podcast to these people.
Well,
so.
I don't need anybody watching this. I wish nobody would watch it, honestly.
You guys can all leave. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And I think we lost a sub. We were at 450 and somebody quit on us.
Yeah.
So can't imagine who that would have been.
Were you taking shots at our guys now?
Well, I thought it was Jeffrey at first, but he's here.
We're 551, by the way.
Oh, good. 551.
Yeah.
It was 549 last night. So whoever hit that sub button today, thank you. Appreciate you. Anyways, we'll shout out Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. You don't got to put it up. You can find their menu online at www.alamo-steakhouse.com. We're going to be gone for a little while. So we'll see you in probably 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
See you in May. Yeah, I think there'll be a couple of roster news. Maybe you could do a solo by yourself.
Maybe I bring one of these guys on.
Bring on somebody, yeah.
Bootzilla, you want to come on?
Yeah, there you go. All right, we'll see everybody next year.
Next year.
Goodbye.